Hey everyone, Kevin Tanner coming to you with another review. Today we're taking a look at the Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 3 Starship Class Inquisitor Transport Scythe. So here is the ship. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the packaging. We'll take a look at the vehicle, the accessories that come with it, some of the different features of this, and then we'll do some comparisons. So let's go ahead and we'll dive into the review. So this is a ship I was really not expecting for us to get. It wasn't even on my radar, but super excited that we did get something from the new Obi-Wan series. This is the Inquisitor Transport Scythe, I think is how you're supposed to say that name. But let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging, and then we'll get into the vehicle and talk all about all the rest of it. So first, with just the packaging here, you've got your figure pack in there. You've got the ship typically inside. I have it out. I'll show you why it's out and not back in the box to start the review. But then you've got down here on the bottom the Inquisitor thing, number 66. You get some pretty cool art here on the side. And then on the back of the box here, it shows you some of the different features for what the ship can do. A little opening compartment, put the figures in there, and then you get all of the other ships that are in the line. And then on this side as well, it does show some of the other features, and that's that. So now, on the inside of the box, just like you get with all of the others, we're going to get a cardboard backing on the inside. And so when you get this, I didn't realize this, but as I went to take the blister pack out, you can see the two little cutouts here. So that's actually these front parts of the ship that actually attach to it. So it comes without it on, so it can be in the box. So that once they're on there, you really can't take them off. I've tried, and it's hard. So here's our background. The background is just basically an asteroid field and some moon. I don't know what that is, but some type of planet of some sort. So that is that. Pretty nice feature to be able to display it. And then here is our figure pack. Again, I love these figure packs, and they have really just knocked it out of the park here with Series 3. So we get our Grand Inquisitor, we get the fifth brother, and then we get Riva in this set. So let's go ahead and take the figures out and look at them. Starting with the Grand Inquisitor. So, well, there we go. I mean, the detail on this figure is incredible. So they actually got the markings on his head, which is really cool. His whole outfit here, his uniform looks really cool. The difference between the matte paint on some of it and some of the glossy here on his chest plate. He's got the thing on his ears, and he's got the lightsaber on his back, which is really awesome. So there is just a little articulation, arms and legs, just like you see with all the other figures. But man, what an amazing figure this is. So cool. And then you get the fifth brother. So kind of the same thing here. Amazing detail on him. The difference in the paint color application, I mean, it is incredible. And the red underneath his helmet, which is really cool too. I mean, I can't imagine how they do that. And then you've also got his lightsaber on his back. Really awesome. And then we've got Riva here. Another one, fantastic. And then she's got the lightsaber there on her leg, which is really good. I mean, the figures on this are worth the cost of the ship itself. You could literally not get the ship and just get the figures, and it's worth it. I mean, these things are amazing. So those are the figures that you get. Let's go ahead and dive into the ship itself. So like I mentioned here on the front, you can see the panel line here, as well as underneath there's some little clips in here. I tried to see if I could loosen those clips so that I could pull the front of it off again, but you really can't. You can do it, but it's going to be difficult to do it. So these front parts are detached when you first get it, and you go ahead and clip them on. Once they're clipped on, they're pretty much on there. But then you've got landing gear on the bottom. So this landing gear functions very similar to like it would on the Millennium Falcon, where both landing gears move at the same time. And the great thing about this is that it does have like a really nice click to snap it in place, so you don't have to worry about them falling down, which is really nice. Then you get a cockpit that opens here, so you can fit all 3 figures inside. It's pretty challenging to get a couple of them in there, but I'll go ahead and pop one in here in a minute just so you can see what it looks like. So you do have the 3 figures you can fit inside. You get the wings here that adjust, so it goes down into that position. And man, this thing looks really cool. This is another one that would be awesome to have a flight stand on. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the sequel trilogy, the Knights of Ren ship, whatever the heck that thing's called, with just what the front looks like. But it looks really cool with the wings down like that. So then you can pop the wings back up. The other part of this too is on the back here. This is a panel that will pop off. So there's a little part right here on the top. You pull on, opens it up, and there's basically a little bit of a playset area. So the one thing that is really interesting about this that I'm really excited to see what we get for is that there is a little peg holder there. So that is typically in some of the other ones for some type of a speeder. So it'll be interesting to see whether that's supposed to be for another speeder or whether or not, no, it doesn't look like any of the figures are going to be able to stand on it. But the other great thing about this is it does have a little ramp on it. So you can access the ramp. You can either push it down here or underneath here on the front. You can also pull on it and it'll go ahead and open up. So that's what it looks like. So this thing is huge. I mean, it's like almost the whole length of the bottom of the actual hull of the ship. But that can come down, so that way if it's in its landed position, you can actually kind of see up in there. It's a little short to be able to fit the figure in and actually have them walk up in it, but either way, it's still a pretty cool feature. And then here's what it looks like from the back as you're looking out the front. And then you got your engines here on the back as well. So let's go ahead and put a figure in the cockpit so that way you can see what it's like, because I think this was pretty cool. So when you're putting the figure in, it's kind of hard to actually get them in there. And so I'm trying to do this thing around the camera. There we go. And so you kind of have to lay the Grand Inquisitor down, and his hands have got to go down underneath the control panel here on the front. There we go, like that. So you kind of like lay him down almost in there. There you go, you can kind of see it. But then when you close the cockpit, look at that. That is so cool. He's just looking right out the front. So as it's flying, I mean, and it's great with the red tint of the window and then his white head. It just looks so cool. So I think I'm definitely going to leave him in there once I get this thing displayed. But that is that. So let's do some measurements really quick. This thing is actually really big, and that's one of the things I like about the Starship class for the Micro Galaxy stuff, is that it all is a good size. So front to back here, this guy is about, I'd call it 9 3/4 inches-ish with these front parts on here. Side to side, so wing to wing, it's about 8.5. And then if you have it with its wings up and the landing gear out, it will stand about 3 inches, maybe 3 inches and 3 1/8 inches tall. All the figures are an inch tall as well, so I forgot to measure that, but they are all an inch tall. So the only thing that I really have to compare this against, and this is the great thing about this review, is that there aren't any other ships to really compare it to. So from a comparison perspective, the only thing I could really think of to compare it to is the Marauder. And so here is what the Marauder looks like next to the transport Scythe. So both of them amazing ships. I just continue to love this line. I can't wait to see what other ships they bring out that we've never seen before. And so there we go. So if you did like this review, if you could please go ahead, like and subscribe to the page. Also in the description, I have a link to a page that I run with some other friends from around the world. Great community of other collectors that love Micro Galaxy Squadron, Micro Machines, Action Fleet, and any other micro toys. So thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing everybody back on the next review.